Right, so we put the ARP studs into me. We popped the head gasket on. You've seen the deck brace, and as you can see, look, as I mentioned before, so the deck brace is machined, all the hose machined out of the deck brace is to suit the gasket, the hose in the gasket, as you can see, look, if you follow the around, pretty much.
Yeah.
OE operated gasket, as we said. Move over to the bench, Timmy. Isn't it, just to show you what replaced? That's the washers and the nuts to go with the ARP studs. We always change to the front pipe. In this case it'll be a sport cat, the mount tune sport cat to the turbo. New studs, new nuts. Forget trying to use the original ones. Throw them in the bin to replace them. They're a pain to get out, and then they just lock themselves on there because they're lock nuts, 50mm lock nuts. Waste of time. New crank pulley bolt, always replace that. We're not going to be pulling we only need to change, that's your spacer shim on the bottom sprocket. Okay, there's two, one on the inside, one on the outside. So there's one on the where it butts to the block, and then there's another one where basically behind the crankshaft pulley where it butts on the outside of the dual sprocket, okay, which runs the cam chain, the timing chain and the oil pump chain. So they're just, we don't reuse them. They're not cheap, they're about 20 quid each, these are. Alright? Ridiculous to me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, for that. So you find that before, some things you think, oh, that would be like 2 quid. 2 quid? Yeah? It's not, it's 20 quid. Whereas other things you think, oh, that's going to be, oh no, I'm not pricing else, but that's going to be like 300 quid, and it's like 100 quid. So it's, you never know. Crazy when it comes up with the prices. Right, so gaskets, rocker cover gasket, valve cover.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, what the Americans like to call it, didn't they? Yeah, renew that. That's your turbo drain back pipe, lower seal, change that. Thermostat housing, change that. So anything we disconnect and we disturb, we don't put it back in the same gasket, just bin it and replace it, because you end up doing it twice else. You know, you get a leak from there, it's right, oh, right, I wish I'd changed that, so just change it. You've seen the feed pipe we've already said about. We're pretty much ready for the head to go on. Obviously, look, it takes a bit more time because we're stopping photographing, doing videos. It does prolong the process, but that's what we're all about. Customers are aware of that, and it's useful information. Maybe some people don't care.
Maybe.
That's the question mark on that one. So yeah, let's start getting back together to me. Let's not stand around chatting anymore. Right, back onto the bench, Timmy. So we've got the mount tune sport cap on the Roberts, gasket, clamp, nuts and bolts and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. The adapter for the underneath, where it goes to he's already got the V3 system on it to match up with that. Pro alloy, we'll do the intercooler in a sec. This is the boost pipe kit, as you can see. And yeah, usual thing, you have a choice from Pro alloy, you can have a choice of black or blue hoses. Robert's opted for black, makes sense really. We could do it in our own hoses, but there's a lead time, they're custom made, so you're talking weeks and weeks for them. All the bracketry to go with it, clips and all that sort of nonsense. As you can see, look, one main difference, it's got 2 meth bosses in it. Now, he still runs the plastic manifold, same as us, so you need 2 supplies. If you've got the mount tune manifold, there's 2 bosses in there, there's 1 boss in the manifold already, so you can use that as a boost pickup. But on this application, doesn't have it. So Pro Alloy put them bosses in for us. You know, we can do it, get Julian down at Proform to do it for us, but because they're fabricating the pipe, it's easy, they just do it for us, same as what we've got on ours. And then we move across to the intercooler. As you can see, satin silver, or like a natural finish if you want to call it that. So all we're doing at the moment is we're just measuring up where the stencer's going to, you know, well, that's sort of like where it's going to go from our past measurements. But what we need to do is just to be sure, because once you start painting it, you can't think, oh, it's in the wrong place. So we'll get the bumper on tomorrow, just test for it, dummy fit the bumper, and then we'll just won't connect anything up, we'll just drop the intercooler on, you know, brackets, just hold it up, drop the bumper on, look back, yeah, that's bang on, and then we can tape it down properly, tape it all up, go in, get it etch primed, get it 2K'd in the blue, sorted, yeah, that's it. Until tomorrow.
And just for the viewers, we're not literally going to drop the bumper on. We're going to place
Drop
it on
them on.
carefully. Yeah.
Chuck it on, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. In case Robert's going to be watching this, so everything's done super carefully. All right.
Mm.
Moral. Right. Back on the bonnet again, Timmy,
Yep.
for an update. No, we didn't have time to do lots and lots of videos with like individual progress that we're doing. We're up against it a bit with work here, so I just needed to crack on and get it done. So the thought was, let's just get the head back on. Let's get all the cams back in. Let's start getting it all, you know, all timed up. Everything that you see here, and then do a video just to give you the next progress update of where we're at. So the inlet manifolds, that's down at Julian's down Proform. It's just easy. I'm just up against it for time, so Julian will do that for me. He'll drill it in tap for the 1/8 MPT thread for the injectors for the meth nozzles. That's another job out the way. Timmy's got things to do. We're busy here anyway with the bread and butter stuff as well. You've got some things to make Taminia for the meth button.
Yep.
Once I've done this, we'll get I've got to test fit the intercooler. Stencil's all done, which we showed you, but we need to put it on just to make sure it's in the right place, and then any adjustments, I'll go and get that prepped and painted, the stencil, and then we'll get that fitted, get all the boost pipes on. Yeah, we need to blank off because we haven't got the meth nozzles yet, or the meth kit, so we'll blank off the bosses, get it all fired up, run it up, and then switch ramps, and then crack on with the meth install, which will be the next phase to me. But we'll do another progress vid as we're doing it, alright? But we're just up against it for time, viewers, so just in case you're wondering why it's at this stage and you haven't seen any of the other building up of it. So yeah, come back soon. Back to the bench, no hat, haven't got time, over there, alright? Put that back on later. So say what you will about my hair, don't care, alright? Anyway, back onto the more important things. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Robert's Smart Refit RS, which we're doing work on, as you know. You've already seen that stuff along there. Oil cooler. Oh, AirTech system. That's what Robert wanted, so that's what we supplied for him. The reason why is because he's got the Velocitech, not Velocimouth, is it? What am I talking about? The Velocitech big mouth on the front. We fitted a few of these, and that sits over to the right hand side. If he had the Mishimoto one, which is bigger than that, Phil's got one on his, it sits directly in the centre, which I think the place it should go personally, not to the left or the right, but that means he would have to lose the big mouth and he wanted to retain that. So conveniently, the AirTech one sits over to the left, so that will look pretty alright actually, because that on the left, big mouth on the right, for our intercooler, it's all going to tie in nicely to me, innit?
Yeah.
So, oil cooler is pretty standard stuff. Lines, they're nylon braided, which again, Mishimoto one is not. It's the proper steel braided. Just got to be careful with that because you don't want it chaffing away on because it's quite abrasive. This, no problem. This is a bit like what Pirano use, so you haven't got any worries with that. Plate, sandwich plate, all the little fixings. Stainless steel nuts and bolts, washers, brackets, and that just keeps the pipes away from each other so they don't start touching, alright? All there. Get that installed. Get the intercoolers. Timmy's, we've been doing them. You've been getting some etching coats, 2K etching primer, and
yeah.
And then we'll get the 2K on it, and then we'll share that with you. And hopefully we'll get all that back on, and then we can make progression. The very last thing I'm going to do on this is the meth. The full meth installation. So as soon as we get the inlet manifold back from our friend Julian down at Proform, we'll share that with you as well. Let's do it.